Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Zul Azrif Haikal bin Zulkifli and I will be presenting my final year project proposal titled Experimental-Numerical Analysis of Durian Husk Silicone Biocomposite. Silicone materials have been identified as one of the best candidate materials that exhibit a desirable skin characteristic, thus making it the right material for skin substitute. Nevertheless, further investigation is crucial in order to synthesize silicone materials before this could be a reality. The focus of the study is to synthesize Durian Husk Silicone Biocomposite material and then assess its mechanical and physical properties in order to determine the related main parameters. There are 4 stages in this study. The first stage will be the material synthesis by adding the durian husk fiber into the silicone rubber as the main matrix. The second stage will be the experimental stage, which will include the density test and uniaxial tensile test. The third stage will be the quantification of the properties with the hyperelastic constitutive models, which are Neo-Hawkian and Muni-Rivlin. And the final stage of the study will be the prediction of the durian husk silicone biocomposite using artificial neural network (ANN). Composite materials are materials that are made from 2 or more constituent materials that possesses a different chemical and physical properties, in which it produces a new material with different properties from its respective constituents. Composite materials have been widely used in military engineering related, aerospace and transportation. On top of that, there is a term for biocomposite materials. So, what is biocomposite materials? Biocomposite materials signifies that a material composed of at least 2 materials consisting of a matrix and natural fiber as its reinforcement. The term biocomposite is the combination of natural fiber such as rice straw, hemp, banana, knaf, coir, and etc. What is silicone rubber? Silicone rubber belongs to an elastomer type which often used in polymer matrix composite, or also known as PMC, in which PMC can be categorized into 3 groups, which are the thermoplastic, thermosets and elastomer type. Silicone rubber is a hyperelastic material in which it exhibits a non-elastic deformation, which a small stress applied on the silicone rubber causes a large deformation because it possesses a low modulus. The characteristic of silicone rubber is low density, low toxicity, good blood compatibility, anti-adhesive, high flexibility and good thermal stability. The application of silicone rubber is widely used in medical, mechanical sensors and electrical devices. Durian is a famous fruit among people in Southeast Asia region. People in this area also call durian as the king of the fruit, and actually durian has the scientific name which it is called Durio-zibetinus. The production of durian fruit has increased from 297,696 metric tons to 341,332 metric tons, valued at about 5 million ringgit from the years 2010 to 2018. This is a big increment, about 14.66% of increment. It is reported by the Department of Agriculture, Malaysia. In 2013, it is estimated that durian produced in Malaysia at 320,164 metric tons. There are 3 parts of durian that people can recognize. The parts are husk, pulp and the seed. People always consume the pulp or flesh, which is cover about 15 to 30% of the durian mass. The 70 to 85% of the durian mass is the husk and the seed. The durian husk has a fiber content which include the cellulose about 31.6% to 60.45%, hemicellulose about 9.63% to 22%, and lignin about 9.89% to 15.45%. Several researchers had conducted a study about reinforcing durian husk into various types of matrix, such as Choi et al. In 2021 had developed a new antibacterial wound dressing that reinforced the durian husk fiber into the hydrogel. Next, Sembiring et al. Had mixed the durian husk fiber into polyester resin. Charo and White in 2014 had adding the durian husk fiber into the high-density polyethylene. Lee et al. In 2020 had reinforced the durian husk fiber into polylactic acid, and lastly, Mahardika et al. In 2021 also had adding the durian husk fiber into polyvinyl alcohol. Now, we move on to the hyperelastic behavior. The durian husk fiber will be added into the silicone rubber, which exhibit a non-linear pattern. The hyperelastic material cannot be defined in a stress and strain relationship, but it must be defined in stress-stretch ratio. There are two constitutive of hyperelastic models that can describe the hyperelastic characteristic. The artificial neural network, or also known as ANN, is a huge combination of simple processing unit in which it can acquire knowledge from an environment by learning and storing the knowledge in its connection. ANN is a powerful computational structure in which it can solve various complex of nonlinear relationship. It also can analyze any problems that are literature-based, experimental data, pattern recognition, prediction, and modeling applications. An estimation about 2,280 metric tons of durian husk waste were generated in 2016 in Malaysia only. The durian husk then ends up on landfill and burn that could lead to an environmental issue. The incineration and dumping in landfills disposal method is an undesirable method as well as expensive. Instead being a waste, it can be used to produce more materials in future. So, as the problem statement, the first problem statement will be there is no research done for durian husk fiber reinforced into silicone rubber matrix. Second problem statement, there is a limited research data for durian husk silicone biocomposite mechanical and physical properties. Third one will be it's hard to quantify mechanical and physical properties for hyperelastic models. And lastly, there is a limited analytical model and experiment data to compare these properties. There are 4 research objectives in this final year project that will be achieved. The first one is to produce a novel biocomposite material from natural waste by reinforcing durian husk fiber into silicone rubber. The second one is to assess the density and tensile strength of durian husk silicone biocomposite using an experimental approach. The third one will be to quantify the hyperelastic constant of the durian husk silicone biocomposite based on Neo-Hookean and Muni-Rivlin models. And the last research objective will be to predict and compare the properties of durian husk silicone biocomposite using artificial neural network, or also known as ANN. The scope and limitation of the project is divided into 3 scopes, which the first scope will be the experimental approach, in which the specimen of the durian husk silicone biocomposite will be tested on density test and uniaxial tensile test. The test will be followed using the testing standard ASTM, and a total of 50 samples will be produced, which varies for its weightage fiber composition. Numerical approach, in which the result from the experimental data will be adapted into the hyperelastic constitutive models, which are Neo-Hookean and Muni-Rivlin models. And the final approach will be the predicting approach, which a network will be constructed to predict the material constant. The method we will be using is artificial neural network, ANN. Moving on to the methodology, there are 4 stages of methodology that will be conducted in this research. The first stage of the methodology is the specimen preparation. The silicone rubber will be bought at craft shop in Balakong, and the type of the silicone rubber is the EcoFlex 0030. There is 2 parts in this silicone rubber, which are the part A for its matrix material and the part B for its hardener. And 2 of this material will be mixed together for 1:1 ratio, and it will become a silicone rubber. Durian husk also will be obtained at durian stall around Shah Alam, and the durian husk will be cleaned up and dried at 100 degrees Celsius for about 24 hours. And then the dried durian husk will be crushed using crushing machine at Composite Lab in Engineering Faculty, and the crushed durian husk will be fined using planetary mono mill machine at 300 RPM for 30 minutes with 5 repetitions, and the ball weight for the planetary mono mill machine is 1:2 ratio of durian husk and mill ball weight respectively. The fine durian husk fiber will be sieved using vibratory sieve shaker until 150 micrometer. The durian husk fiber density will be determined using micromeritics pygnometer. The two of this material must be added together to be a biocomposite material. This equation will be used to determine the percentage. Total of 25 specimens will be tested on density test, which followed the ASTM D792 method A, which is the method A for the standard testing for solid plastic in water, uniaxial tensile test. A total of 25 specimens with various fiber content also will be tested on Instron Universal Testing Machine 100 kN, which also be followed using ASTM D412 and at a speed rate of 500 mm per minute. The data will be brought to the numerical approach, in which in Microsoft Excel solver tool, the data of the strain will be converted into stretch ratio. Then the value of stretch will be integrated into the hyperelastic models, which are Neo-Hawkian and Mooney-Rivlin equation, and after that a curve fitting will be plotted. Prediction approach, in which the weightage, load and elongation of the experimental data will be keyed into the MATLAB artificial neural network to obtain the material constant from the A and N. The material constant that will be gained from the Neo-Hawkian and Mooney-Rivlin and material constant that will be gained from the A and N will be compared to each other and will be calculated the percentage difference using the equation. Preliminary result that have been obtained in the span of this FYP1 session. The durian husk fiber had been obtained around Shah Alam and had been dried up at 100 degrees Celsius for 24 hours. And then the durian husk had been crushed using the crushing machine, and then the durian husk fiber had been sieved at about 500 micrometer. The fiber that had been obtained had been mixed with the silicone rubber, and the sieved durian husk fiber had been mixed with the pure silicone rubber to produce a durian husk silicone biocomposite materials, and another specimen for pure silicone rubber also had been produced. The specimens had been placed into a vacuum oven to extract the air bubble. These are the expected result of curve fitting that will be obtained from this research. That's all the information of the proposal regarding the experimental numerical analysis of durian husk silicone biocomposite. Thank you.